The story of Prophet Yusuf ﷺ is unique because it is the only story in the Quran that is presented in one single chapter. The whole of Surah Yusuf is dedicated to the events of Prophet Yusuf ﷺ's life. This is presented to us as the Al-Qasas, meaning the best of narrations, i.e. the best of stories. It's a very human story, a very relatable story, a story of family, of brothers, a father and a son, of jealousy, of patience, of trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of desire, of God-given knowledge, and of forgiveness. Essentially, it can be seen as a story of the human heart and the importance of the purity of heart. We learn how hearts become corrupt with jealousy and desire. We'll learn how hearts are given peace through patience and trust, even in the most difficult of circumstances. Our hearts are alive. Yes, they are beating, but beyond this, they are awake, listening, and responsive. If we fill them with goodness, they produce goodness through words and actions. And if we fill our hearts with evil and corruption, they produce evil actions and words. If we have, for example, a beautiful plant, and instead of water, we decide to pour in a can of Coke or coffee in it every single day, then we're not going to get any beautiful flowers or fruit on that plant. And the heart's the same. It needs pure, clear, fresh water, as in pure, clear, fresh intentions and actions. A virtue is a good characteristic, like patience, good manners, honesty. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ar-Rashid, the one who guides along the path of virtue, and we should recite this name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ar-Rashid, to help us walk the straight path. Okay, so we'll look at 3 things that affect the heart: jealousy, desire, and the eyes being the window to this, and patience and trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. First of all then, jealousy. Jealousy is a very dangerous emotion because it can lead to wrong actions. Prophet Yusuf ﷺ's brothers were jealous of the love their father, Prophet Yaqub ﷺ, had for their brother. It made them so jealous that they wanted to get rid of Prophet Yusuf ﷺ. They thought once Yusuf is gone, their father will love them more and they can ask for forgiveness after. Can you imagine plotting to kill or throw your own brother into a well? Well, such is jealousy. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, has said, "Beware of jealousy, for it destroys good deeds the way fire destroys wood." That is a very, very clear warning. And jealousy really is a poison in the heart, because at the root of it, so the cause of it, is ungratefulness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You should be satisfied with what you have been given and gifted with, and not look at what others have. Allah honours those He wills, and He knows best who to give to and who to withhold from. Secondly, you can't truly have love in your heart for your brother or sister in faith and humanity if you're jealous of them. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, has said, "None of you truly believes until he asks for his brother what he asks for himself." A heart cannot contain love if it's filled with jealousy. It's like oil and water. They just can't mix. Even Prophet Yaqub ﷺ's remembrance of Yusuf made the brothers jealous. That was the extent of it. Now the second thing. The heart is affected by what it sees. This is why it's so important to be careful of what we're looking at and to lower our gaze. So Surah Yusuf teaches us this, as Zulaykha, the wife of the king, saw Prophet Yusuf ﷺ every day as he lived there. He was a very handsome and beautiful person, so she liked him, and her friends laughed at her because he was a slave in the house. So she called them, and as they were cutting food, she told Yusuf to walk past, and they stared at him and cut their own fingers with the knife. This is kind of like a sign to us of how dangerous it is to look at something that we shouldn't be looking at, because at the end of the day, you will be harmed. Now, people do this all the time with different things. So on social media, they look at other people's photos of holidays, they see adverts for expensive cars, beautiful homes, maybe toys, anything. Each time you look, your heart awakes and wants that thing, because the eyes are kind of like a window to the heart. So the more you're looking, the more your heart wants that particular thing. And it eventually becomes so strong, like a magnet. This is why people become unhappy, because their list of desires becomes too great and they become ungrateful with what they have. So, we should lower our gaze from many things and we should do shukr for all we have. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is al-batin, the latent, meaning the one who knows and knows best what to give and what to withhold, and the one who knows exactly what's happening. So we are all kind of responsible for that, and we need to be careful. Finally, patience. Patience is a beautiful virtue, and it's like a lifeboat in the vast sea of the dunya. When the storms rise, when the waves start to crash and darkness descends, you know you're safe, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Al-Hafiz, the protector. Sometimes it feels like we too are at the bottom of a well or prison, just like Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam. But like him, we must learn to rely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like him, we must always call to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for help, and remember that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is our protector, Al-Hafiz, and knows what we're going through, Al-Batin, and we should recite Ar-Rashid and ask Allah to give us the virtues of patience and trust. Now, Prophet Yaqub alayhi salam loved his son so much, and he was so patient. He trusts that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will return his son to him, and he holds back his grief to the point that he became blind. And he says, I only complain of my grief to Allah. The Quran tells us, do not lose hope nor be sad. The Quran tells us, so endure patiently with a beautiful patience. The Quran tells us, indeed, Allah is with the patient. And the Quran tells us, be patient over what befalls you. And it tells us, and seek help in patience and prayer. So, our heart is very, very important, and we must take care of it. Recitation of Quran and zikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's beautiful names help us clean and purify our heart. It's like pouring that fresh water into a vase so the flowers and fruit can grow beautifully. And good deeds are the produce of that. So let's keep pouring fresh clean water, keep reciting the Quran, keep doing zikr, and receive the fruits in this world and the hereafter.